I moved to London at the end of February, so I'm here to tell you about my crazy, weird, intense experience here, or what I like to call it, my quarantine internship. Because, I started at the beginning of March, and I spent only 2 weeks at the office with the whole team. And then we went into lockdown, so we started to work from home after just 2 or 3 weeks together. So probably I had the worst timing ever to move to a new city. Probably I did, probably maybe, I don't know. We'll see about this later on. But yeah, we started to work from home like immediately, and we have no plans on going back to the office anytime soon. So just some information about me. I have an undergrad or bachelor degree in food technologies, and in Polento I studied food innovation and management. I'm still a student, so I'll graduate hopefully soon, hopefully at the end of this experience. So if you're a student, so I assume most of you are students from Polento, but maybe not. You're probably familiar with this sort of pictures, just having the usual glass of wine at the end of the lecture. No, I'm kidding. It was for a Christmas party, but it happens from time to time. And the other picture is me. You've seen me around maybe at the university campus. And here I was in London in September, and that's when I decided to come back. And yeah, so I studied food innovation and management. I'll be done hopefully soon, around October or December. While I'm here, just to mention this, I'm also working on my dissertation. And yeah, so I'm in London right now. I work for the Sustainable Restaurant Association. The SRA is a not-for-profit company that operates in the hospitality sector in the UK. Basically, the company provides tools, advice, and consultancy to businesses in the sector. Their vision and mission is to accelerate the change towards a more restorative food service sector in the UK, and a more sustainable one. The SRA has a whole framework for sustainability and sustainable practices that is based on sourcing, environment, and society. If you want to know more about this, just drop me a question and I'll go more into detail. So yeah, my internship is in English, of course, and I have a supervisor, and the team, just FYI, the team is composed by around 20 people. I have a supervisor, but yeah, because of the situation, most of them are furloughed now, so the team was rearranged a bit throughout the whole pandemic. So about my timeline, as Alessandro was saying before, everything started with the career fair last year, a year ago, so May 2019. I sent a bunch of applications, CVs, cover letters. I did some interviews, and I came across the people from Metropolitano, so I found my first internship for that summer. And I spent a month here in London working for Metropolitano in the sustainability department. And after that, in autumn, I sent my application. I did a bunch of other interviews, and then I landed at the SRA. So yeah, this was a bit how the whole process began at the time. It might seem linear, but it's not. It wasn't at all. So just to break the ice a little bit of internship humor there. Again, I assume some of you are students looking for internships. So I inserted this little quote about the job search. So the job search is itself a job. You might have heard, read, or seen about this before. So basically, if you're an intern or you're looking for an internship, you're not looking for a job, so you can just relax. That is not true. That is not the case at all, because as you might have noticed, the internship hunting is just as stressful as looking for a job, or just in general. It might be really stressful, time consuming, but why? Why it has to be? Because probably if it gets really time consuming, which it is, no matter what, but it can get really counterproductive, frustrating, and discouraging if what you have in your mind is this not. So if you feel you have something like this in your mind right now, you need some strategy. So you can chill out on one hand, on the other, you need to be focused and find some strategy. So my first two tips there are, first of all, if you feel you are in this situation, do not start to look for an internship right now. Get some mental clarity before starting, otherwise it gets really frustrating and time consuming. So you just start spinning around with no idea on where to land. Just get some strategy to untangle. At the same time, it doesn't mean that you need to have 100% clear idea on where you want to go, but just have a list of stuff you like, stuff you don't like, things you don't want to compromise on to get your internship. And that is the first tip. Second tip would be the internship can really define your career path. It can really help with that, but it does not have to. So it will, in any case, be a qualifying experience for you. You will definitely learn something from that, even like what you don't really want to do for a living. So the internship can be your final destination, can shape your future career, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be your final destination. So don't settle ever. If you just understand that you don't want to do that, you want to do the exact opposite, you're just learning something. So it's going to be good for that. So in terms of strategy, I came up with these sort of models. So I'm a sucker for models. you will get it from later on. So this is a bit of a mixture between models. And it's called RAIN, or steps to untangle. These are useful if you're looking for an internship, but actually I think they can be applied for everything related to your professional life as well. Not that I am an expert about professional life, but they might be useful. So the first step would be, first of all, like these are steps to untangle. These basically made up a sort of self-assessment strategy that might be useful to get some mental clarity. So the first step will be recognizing. So recognize what is your passion, what is your purpose, which is really easy. Now, it's not at all. It's a huge task. It's really difficult and complex to do. So my advice there is just start with what you like, what you love, what you enjoy doing, even just like in the everyday life. So habits and stuff you really look forward in the everyday life. It might be in the academic field. So if you're from Pollenzo, you might love cooking, for instance, or really like in all contexts. The second step would be acknowledging what is your expertise, what are your assets. So what could be your contribution for a company you want to work with. So just explore your skills, but especially realize what are your gaps and fill them. If you can, do the best you can to fill them. So just to, in terms of skills, one really useful thing you could do is just focus on what you achieved in the past with no effort or very little effort. So something that went really smoothly, and especially something that you achieved while enjoying yourself. This is really important. So it's a way to link and bind your passion with your knowledge, your expertise. First step would be investigating. So this is sort of related to the SWOT analysis that you might know. So just investigate the job market as it is right now. So screwed up. But just investigate the job market, the needs and opportunities, the threats, and link those to the self-assessment that you did before. Just do your research. It's quite easy now that we have all the media to do this. Go online, ask people, especially ask people that you look up to would be my advice. So people you admire or people you feel empowered by. And stay open always. Fourth step, so last one would be networking. So once you have this all SWOT analysis, once you have in mind what you might want to do in your future, just connect, interact with companies, send inquiries, call, chat, do like whatever you want to just connect with them. In those terms, the UNISG network is quite useful to start. It's just a great place to start if you are confused right now. So connect, interact, and just put yourself out there. Just get out of your comfort zone. Some useful tools that I use for this little model that I created. Again, the SWOT analysis and this career rail. The Ikigai, so look for that if you don't know what it is. I came across the concept with the Career Center, so during one of the seminars. It's basically the intersection between what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. But yeah, just have a look. It doesn't mean that you need to have a clear mind about that, but it's a good place to start. It's all about that mental clarity and being aware. At the same time, it's all about being proactive. But this is just how I see proactive and being proactive. I know it's a buzzword, it's a really hot topic nowadays, and it's something that if you don't have on your CV, you're basically no one, you're screwed. But really, like, according to me, being proactive is not just, it's not a skill, it's something more dynamic than that. I would say it's more of a flexible approach that you can integrate, you should, and you must integrate. And these are just three, I'd say, ways to do that easily. So to break the concept down to more basic steps. So first, do your research. As for investigating, just do it. Go online, gather info, attend conferences, go to workshops. There are a million ways to do that. So you'll never know what you're going to learn or whom you're going to meet at some of these events, initiatives, or just online. Keep your CV updated. That's a really strong suggestion that I give you, and something that you learn from experience. So I ended up like 2 days before a deadline with no up-to-date CV, and that was not fun at all. Third step would be activate your curiosity. So if you are among those lucky ones who were born curious, good for you. So happy for you, but it's not always the case. You can activate your curiosity just by developing it, being open, experiment, try out new stuff. And you can really do it. So it's not something you're always born with, but you can activate it. On to what I do for a living, my current internship. So yeah, the main object of my internship is impact research. So what I do is research through sustainability metrics that I built through literary review. So I basically took the self-assessment tool of the company that is called Food Made Good 50, and I built metrics to measure the impact on the food service sector and as for the company as a whole, really. Second objective or second task is content update. So I do research to implement their materials and resources. And I also implemented some day-to-day work because, yeah, as you might know, the situation is more or less the same all over the world. Restaurants are now still closed in the UK. I know that they opened with some precautions in other countries, but they're still closed in the UK. So the company's members are more or less all restaurants or in general food service businesses. They're still closed, which means that the company is constantly rearranging. Some people are in furlough right now. We're just constantly readjusting to the situation due to the pandemic and job retention scheme. So we're just adapting every day. So what I started to do as well as a bit of extra, so it wasn't meant to be as a project, as an internship project, is a bit of day-to-day work just to support in every way I can. And the goal there for the company is to just drive the industry to reopen right, which means sustainably, but of course safely, and try to speak with a louder voice to address sustainability issues and policy making. So that was just the goal because of the situation. So I'm trying to support in every way, and what I get back is a lot of support from the company. And I'm just not just saying this because some of my colleagues are tuning right now, but yeah, really they're supporting me big time. So this is just what I learned, a bit of my feedback on the experience. What is not stated here, but it's worth mentioning, is the whole smart working or working from home. So it's not something that I used to do before. It's my first time that I work with a team remotely, so working from home for such an extended period of time. What I learned there is how to be, I think, sort of successful. My ability to combine productivity with autonomy and flexibility really improved in this past month now. Other stuff that I learned about collaboration is, you might have heard the sentence that there is no I in team, but I decided that there is a me, in the sense that the team comes before the individual always. So collaboration is crucial, but at the same time, it's crucial for you to know what your contribution to the team can be in order to be as efficient as possible. So in order to really work as a team. For methods, I really learned the value of collective brainstorming and feedback. So always ask for feedback and give feedback. About more personal stuff, I would say I learned to be more receptive. So always taking notes. You never know what can trigger your thinking and further ideas later on. So always note stuff down. Ability to discern. So I had some assumptions, especially related to sustainability, of course. And I really learned to challenge them, to sharpen my perception on issues related to the food system, especially. I now have a better understanding and more enthusiasm about everything that is sustainable. I didn't think it was possible, but it is. So I'm much more enthusiastic about everything that is related to food sector sustainability and how to foster change, how to really have an impact on the food chain and food system. And of course, another outcome is just network. So I've gathered a lot of insight from the company itself, so from my colleagues, and some opportunities might come out from this experience, and opportunities for what is to come in the future. And then, just a final feedback from me, if you're still with me, some final points and questions. So what I do again, it was not easy. I'm not going to lie. It was a challenge from the very beginning because of the situation, also because of the internship itself. I had never worked from home before, and with a team that I barely knew at the time. So it was challenging. It was hard. Every day was a challenge, but honestly, for every challenge, there was a reward in the end. So I think that in the end, it's a really life-changing experience. By the way, I'm not done yet. I'm going to be done at the end of August, but it already is a life-changing experience for me. So yes, I would do it again, definitely. And I also wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. For future perspectives, with the company, so this was a project, a 6-month project, just to begin with. So maybe in a normal world, a different scenario could be imagined. As of now, chances are low because of the situation and the circumstances, and how the company is coping with the whole job retention. So retention of staff. So that is the situation, just to be really honest and transparent. But what I realized during this experience is that I really want to do research. So I want to pursue a career in research, always related to sustainable stuff. That is a leitmotif. So I had this sort of epiphany, and that was great to realize during this month. Would I recommend it? The general experience of an internship? Yes, 100%. Just do it, jump in, get out of your comfort zone. There's always something that you can learn from every experience, and from leaving your comfort zone. And I would totally recommend it. I mean, I just spent 3 months in quarantine in one of the most hectic cities in the world, with close to zero social life. But I would totally recommend to try, not this experience, but just in general, doing an internship and get out of your comfort zone and try new stuff. so I regret nothing. And what now? It's a good question. So I have no plans. I mentioned this before. If you tune in at the beginning of the talk, I have no plans on coming back to Italy anytime soon or for the foreseeable future. But at the same time, I don't want to settle. So I'm really open to every possibility. And at this moment of my life, I just want to keep learning, keep studying, keep making mistakes, while at the same time enjoying the journey in every present moment. So be present in every moment while learning and try to figure out what to do with my life. I think that after this internship, I have a clear idea about what to do next. But yeah, again, it's really, I'm really flexible, so everything can come up in every moment. What I'm trying to do right now, to just use another model, is I'm striving to stay in the growth zone that you can see in the model there, in the graph there. So I'm looking for opportunities while at the same time trying to improve my capabilities or abilities, and figuring out at the same time what my objectives are. Just to, yeah, on a daily basis, I'm striving to do that, to understand what the future holds, which is not really easy to predict. So yeah, that is all from me. I'm more than happy now to answer to any questions or doubts that you might have. If something else comes up later on, just please keep in touch, get in touch, drop me an email. This is my email address, or just connect through LinkedIn, or drop me a message there. And yeah, so yeah, thanks for listening to me, and this is all. I found out about Mercato Metropolitano. There is, if you don't know what Mercato is, it's basically a community marketplace. They have one venue here in London, but two venues here in London. One is the new one that they opened in September, and they're just spreading all across Europe and even abroad. So yeah, what I did with them was mainly sustainable sourcing. So they have the marketplace that is made up by food shacks. So I took care of their sourcing, meaning making sure that their products were good for people and planet. So everything that is related to sustainable sourcing and food procurement for raw materials. I also did a bit of event planning, because they have a lot of events just to spread the word about sustainability, and not only. So yeah, from that experience, yeah, first of all, I'm in really good relationship with them. I have a good relationship with them. I still go there, so we're still in touch, and that was a really valuable experience for me. I realized that I'm really interested in sourcing. I really want to know more about the supply chain and how that works. At the time, I realized that maybe the not-for-profit or NGO reality could be more suitable for me. Before coming to the SRA, I had a much narrow idea of sustainability, but working together with the team and on the Food Make Good 50 tool, there is, by the way, a questionnaire of 50 questions. Those deal with, again, sourcing, environment, and society. But like, for instance, as Luke was saying before, like energy, I knew nothing about energy before, green energy. So this was a great opportunity to improve my knowledge about that. And sourcing, yeah, I knew a bit more on that topic. But social impact, for instance, or how to just link the three of those to generate public benefit is something that was really interesting to see from behind the scenes.
Hi guys, yeah, so I'm Luke, I'm COO of the SRA, and Lucia was part of our team, and I was her supervisor as she's been here. So yeah, for me, it's been absolutely fantastic having Lucia with us. I think the really interesting thing was that the piece of work that she was doing, as we were quite a small NGO, but with a big network in terms of the amount of restaurants and cafes and bars we work with in the UK, which is about 11,000. Lucia gave us the opportunity to look a little bit deeper into some of the things we were doing, which was research. You know, not always we have the time to do these because we have other things that we needed to work on. So it was a really great opportunity to merge, you know, research, which was really pivotal to Lucia's role at our university, but also pivotal for our business to move forward and innovate and to look to the future. So yeah, I don't want to go into detail of the actual work, but it's something that really linked to sustainability, but thinking on the next level from a research perspective about the actual impact, the things that restaurants are doing, you know, so whether it's, you know, moving to sustainable energy, what impact is that actually making on the greater world, you know, in terms of sustainable development goals. And that's really important for us as a business to really show the members of our organization how they're making change, and they can really show that from an individual perspective, and then we could show it at a greater perspective. So there's loads more work to be done, but what we've seen so far is really even give us some really good insights to work with as the current situation is really difficult, but a lot of restaurants are closed, and when they reopen, they want to reopen with a new mindset in terms of sustainability, because that's also an opportunity in this crisis, and we really are leveraging on some of the insights from Lucia to really bring some key things into what people are thinking as they start to reopen. So yeah, it's been a real challenge for her, obviously, with working from home, but she's brought really good energy, and she's been a really great part of the team, even though she's been detached in terms of doing some research. So it's been really nice having her.
It's been hard to start. So from the very beginning, it was hard just because I really didn't know what to do at the beginning. I was at the office with Luke and the rest of the team for 2 weeks. So I didn't know how to structure the work and the best methodology to deliver results. And that's for the beginning. Then thanks to the support I got from the team. And yeah, I guess I also try to push through the situation. It's been quite challenging, so you're right about that. I guess it's all about finding a balance. So you know that there's still your personal life, even though you're working from home. So find a balance, stick to a routine. So find a routine that works for you, even if it means like waking up at 6 a.m. or at 8 or whatever works for you, just go for it. And the way I managed is really building a proper routine, and I'm still doing it. So it's been 3 months now, even though we're allowed to go out a bit more. We're not back at the office, of course, but I guess routine would be my first tip. And at the same time, try to be connected with if you have a team, if you're working from home, and you have like a manager, a supervisor, just be connected with the team. And that is maybe the first tip that Luke gave me during the first week of working from home, what we did a trial week, is just be connected. Try to be flexible. So try to look at the brighter side at the same time. So the opportunity you have to be more flexible with your schedule, and don't take too much time away from your personal life. So if your time schedule, like the daily one goes from 9 to 5 as mine, try not to go over. It can be hard because you maybe then start at 9:30 and then you go over and you do 5:30 and then 6 and then you end up at 8 and you're still on your laptop. So find boundaries would be another tip. For myself, I'm planning on staying here, at least in London, just because the whole situation, the job market, and all the possibilities, the opportunities that there are here are amazing for what I want to do as a career. I'm quite scared about how the whole Brexit situation is gonna turn out, but yeah, we'll see about that. I'm not an expert about professional life, so maybe Alessandro is best to would be, give you more insight about this. But I think my tip on that, that can be again translated for an internship, but really for any job hunting or internship hunting, would be being flexible and find ways to reinvent yourself. So we all know that the job market right now is disrupted, and that's the case for every sector and every field, every industry. So just don't be too static on what you want to do. So again, I said this before, I sort of have a clear mind about my future right now, but I'm really flexible for every opportunity. So I might be working for, I don't know, like finance consult or consultant or anything, like really be open to everything and don't be too static on one position or what you think your priorities are right now. Try to reinvent yourself, explore different scenarios and explore plan B, C, and so on. Don't just stick to one plan and go for it, because otherwise you might get stuck, especially now in this situation.
Companies are starting back asking to us for offers. So we are getting in touch. We have some connection now, but in the past 2 months, it was really totally deaf from our zone. So the first thing is to get connected with everyone that you know, and speak about what you want to do, and try to clarify to yourself, as Lucia did, what you like and what you can do also for any companies or any association. Then probably if you are stuck in this very moment, in the next month, the situation would probably get better, I hope, and for sure now it's really difficult. So I think working on yourself and on your connections can be the first thing to do for understanding where you can go.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, grazie.